Are we sure that it's 2016? Because it definitely feels like it's still 2015. Hello, my name is Baz, and carry on. You're watching A Reader's World. So if you can guess by the video, I am doing a December wrap-up and January TBR. Let's get started. The first book I read for this month was I Finished It in School, and that is The Giver by Lois Lowry. If you don't know, I have a review up on this book, so if you want to check it out and see my true feelings, you can click right here. Click away. We're done? Okay. And you're probably wondering, hey, what did you think of the movie? Don't get me started on that movie. Some love it, some hate it. I'm one of the people who hate it. For the next book I have to talk about, and that is The Empire Strikes Back. So you want to be a Jedi. If you watched my last wrap-up, you watched me praise Alexander Bracken on the first book in the retelling Star Wars trilogy. Well, now you're about to see me bash on this author on this book. I was really sad to find out that Alexander Bracken did not write this book or the next book in this retelling series, but I was kind of waiting for how this author was going to portray the darkest Star Wars movie. He did a terrible job. Oh my god. If you had read this book without being a Star Wars fan, I think you would be fine with it. But this author was missing so much from this fantastic movie that would have made the book 10 times or even 1,000 times better. The thing I really love about the Empire movie is that it's not just about Luke, it's about all the characters. But this author did a strange way of writing this book, which is you as Luke. So whatever Luke did, he wrote it as you did this, which I found really odd because you're missing out on a lot of stuff. He did this because he said that everyone calls Luke boring, and the reason why he's boring is because we need to put ourselves as him. What? The reason why he is boring and annoying in like the first movie is because you can't just have a character perfect in the first book. You have to have him develop somewhere, wherever you're going. And George Lucas did it perfectly in Empire and Return of the Jedi, but you failed to carry that on. Oh, I'm sorry, I get so annoyed when they mess up something in Star Wars. You should have seen me watching the prequels. Another thing I really praised Alexander Bracken about was that she talked about her experience with Star Wars in the author's note, but all this author did was talk about himself and how Luke is a boring character. Oh my god. I need to stop ranting about this book and go on to the next book I read for this month, which is Gem and the Holograms, Showtime. You are probably going, wasn't there a movie recently called Gem and the Holograms? I have a question to answer that. Do you want to hear more ranting? No? Well, don't ask me about that dumb movie. The movie was based off a 1980s cartoon series by the same name. Well, I found the cartoon series on Netflix one day and I was like, hey, let me watch some episodes. I watched the first and second season and then I kind of got bored of it. The cartoon was targeted towards kids, but the graphic novel did perfectly was they made it more modern and made it more mature. The way they made it more mature was that some of the characters cussed a little bit, but it was totally fine with me. There were cell phones involved, there was more drama and more adultish themes, but one of the best things they did to modernize this version was lesbian couple. Yes! I'm all for LGBT, and it was fantastic in this book. It was so well done. And, why didn't they make the movie like this? Why? Since we're talking about couples, I also want to add that the main character has a love interest too with a guy. And in the original cartoon, it was hilarious of how they did it. in the TV show is kind of like a electronic Hannah Montana where she says Showtime Synergy and she changes into Gem. The boy and the girl have this really awkward love triangle where the boy was dating her, then started dating Gem, her other self. She never questions it. In the graphic novel, he hates Gem, which is so much better, so we have no awkward love triangle. So yeah, I really loved this updated graphic novel. So the next book I have to talk about is the third book in the trilogy of the Star Wars retelling series, and that is Return of the Jedi. Beware of the dark side. Funny thing in the movie series is that Empire Strikes Back is darker than Return of the Jedi, but in the book series, Return of the Jedi is darker than Empire Strikes Back. The author handled this book very well, and it was awesome, and it seemed like he was excited in the author's notes, unlike the second author. Let It Snow was one of the next books I read for December, and I had high hopes for this book. And it failed. My favorite story in this was Maureen Johnson's. Her story was the crowning queen in this book. For Lauren Miracle and John Green's short story I had the same problems with was the characters. I couldn't connect with any of them. Lauren Miracle's one was really annoying, and then John Green's one was just dull. The last book I read for this month was Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. Now I heard great things about this book, and I was kind of let down, but not as much as Let It Snow. Now, I really liked the story and all the characters, but the bad thing was that I couldn't connect with Audrey, and it wasn't Sophie Kinsella's fault. I'm a very out there person, and I don't really understand people who are trying to be shy and everything. So you can blame me on that part. I also found Lina's a little bit bland, but other than that, I really liked it. It was a very enjoyable story. Then for my January TBR, I'll be reading some of the books that I got for Christmas, which I'll haul in another video, which is a book haul and yada yada yada. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and comment down below what you read for December. Hopefully those books are better than So You Want to Be a Jedi, because I hated that book. And bye. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I have hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And I've decided to do a Q&A. Comment down below some questions, personal or bookish. I also post on my Instagram. You can post questions there also. Bye.